Today we're going to be mounting on some ridiculously sweet Warp 9 19-16-inch wheel setup. So all the tools you need: gloves, tire irons, bead buddy is handy to have, some sort of air compressor, some sort of lubricant for around the bead, baby powder to go in the tire to keep the tube from chafing, a valve stem core removal tool, and then I just keep one of these. It's a little magnetic tray to keep stuff from rolling away. Now, on every tire, you want to look to see if it's directional. This one is not directional, just meaning does it have to go on a certain way, because tires are meant to oftentimes rotate in one direction. All right, next up, we're going to baby powder this. All right, always double check to make sure the tire tube is the right size, 90, 100, 16. There is some wiggle room on this. The 16 means it's a 16-inch rim, and the 90 is the width. Then I like to remove the cap and one of the nuts. See that inflated just enough so it kind of holds its shape, and you can put it in to your wheel or into your tire. And because these are pretty aggressive tires, they can be a bit difficult to squeeze in. All right, next up, get a little bit of lube on there. This just helps to slide the tire onto the rim, reducing a bit of the friction. So I put this on. Oop. Get it evenly around this. It's worth spending a little extra time on this step because it will save you a lot of extra time and muscle. Because if you cut corners here, you're going to spend a lot of extra time trying to muscle this onto the rim. So getting both sides first, because these are brand new, we actually need to use some rim tape. Rim tape keeps these spokes from pupping a tube. There's a lot of different brands out there. It just matters that it's the same, it's the right width for your rim. Okay, now that we got the rim tape around here so the spokes don't poke a hole in it, we now have to get the tube into the new wheel. It's through, nut on. So this is really just to keep it so your valve stem doesn't accidentally pop back through the rim. Go in upside down, push it in, rotate. Oh yeah, almost there. Through, rotate. Bottom side is now on. Just a little bit of sweat, not too much. Okay, so now this is where the rim locker, or this bead buddy, really starts to come in handy. This we'll put on here. All right. Now we start to go around. It starts very nice and easy. La-di-da. Oop. And you want to make sure that the bead goes over and just slightly walk it, being very, very, very careful that you do not pinch that tube. That's part of the reason that we end up put in some air, is so that the tube does not get stuck in between tire irons and rim. So each one I'm putting in First upside down, and I rotate and walk it. Last but not least, you put the air in. Now, there's always a general guidance on the side of a tube. It's on the other side of this, but it'll tell you maximum PSI. On these tires, I inflate them to maybe 20 PSI. On the dirt, you want softer for better traction. On street, you want more inflation because it is better on the streets. About 20 PSI. Okay. Last thing we do is we clean it off. And there you have a nicely mounted MX34 on the top of the line rims from Warp 9. This is a 16-inch